Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird Night One. A really quick one. We're talking to you guys today about maturity is having hard conversations. Maturity is having hard conversations. I've been talking to a lot of my clients and coaching last week and the week before. I've been talking about this really powerful term, emotional safety, and how emotional safety actually impacts a lot of our relationships. If you've seen part of my past videos where I've talked about attachment styles, you'll see that I talk a lot about how people don't feel safe. And when they don't feel safe, fear usually creeps in. And when fear usually creeps in, that's when certain behaviors then begin to kick off, right? So we want to get to a place where we are secure and we are comfortable and we are confident in having hard conversations, because the transparency, the truth, and the ability to tell people what's real on our mind is actually a way of us connecting with other people. It's actually a form of emotional connection, right? Understanding the little details, understanding that it's a judgment-free zone. This can be very important to fostering a relationship between two people, right? Let me give you an example. For instance, if you're talking to somebody you're dating, maybe, and we did this yesterday on a live, and perhaps maybe they start pulling away from you, or their behavior has changed, or something's not quite the same, right? What would be our natural MO, right? A lot of us in our insecure state, including myself, who's growing to be better and secure through therapy and through obviously actively practicing these things, my natural inclination, if you pull away, is to either pull away too, or you pull you up. Whichever one comes first, right? And whilst that may seem like the right thing to do in a time because you feel justified in your actions, well, they pulled away, so I pulled away. Well, I can't teach you and lead you if I'm doing the wrong thing, right? If I want better from you, I have to showcase to you, and I have to be able to model what I want to see, right? So having hard conversations really is about very difficult situations, right? How do you behave in a situation where the person is not texting you back, or where the person's not calling you, or the person is seemingly being a little bit more mean, or the person seems to have an attitude some days? Like, how do you address these things that maybe ordinarily aren't natural, maybe huge infractions or very difficult, like very obviously quote unquote disrespectful or rude ways of behaving, right? How do we handle those moments, right? Because those little changes in the atmosphere and the changes in the relationship that you may feel, right? How do we handle those moments? And this is where having difficult conversations is a part of that maturity, and is also a part of that coming into a place of security. So we're going to discuss that today for the next few minutes. I won't be on there too long. I've got about 10 minutes before my next client comes on. But I definitely want to be able to discuss this and have a conversation, because I think this will help a lot of people as well. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, don't turn the channel over. I know it's getting a little bit hot, but stay hydrated out here, okay? All right, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notifications of the uploads as well. And I'm still doing coaching, but I'm not taking any more clients except for the queue jumps. So if you do want to coach, I have some queue jump spaces left. They're down below, and there is a set price. Yeah, so if you want to get some coaching, then please, by all means, jump into that place as well. Okay. So when it comes obviously to discussing and having very difficult conversations, okay, let's use an example. For instance, let's say you sensed your partner is beginning to pull away, right? Their messaging has become a little bit more sporadic, or their messaging has become a little bit less, or you can see that the content or the energy is shifting and changing, and you don't particularly like it. Now, many people in this space with an insecure attachment, for instance, a dismissive avoidant, is going to do what? A dismissive avoidant is probably going to pull away as well. Be like, you know what? Since you pulling away, I'm gonna pull away. If you think you're gonna play with me and take advantage of me, I can't do it. No, 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 no. Okay, all right. So that's our example. Someone pulls away. What are you gonna do? Dismissive avoidants tend to try and pull away and mirror your energy, because dismissives oftentimes dismiss their own emotions, which means they're not very well acquainted with actually discussing how they feel about certain situations. Also, their boundaries aren't the greatest, and in terms of setting boundaries early. So when people start breaking those boundaries, if it's not a major violation, they tend to feel violated but won't tell you they've been violated. So they're going to do what? They're going to pull away. Okay. Another way of having these, another thing is that, for instance, fearful avoidance, right? Sensing the shift in the atmosphere. Let's say you're pulling away from them because they carry both the anxiety, the anxious side, and also the avoidance side. Okay. If you know about attachment styles, we're talking about John Bowlby, we're talking about Mary Ainsworth's work around how children attach to caregivers and how that affects adult relationships. When we talk about fearful avoidance, for instance, how they may react to something, right? They may see that the person's pulling away, and what will end up doing, they will end up actually getting pulled in more, right? So they will try and chase a little bit, but once they might catch you, because they felt like they had to chase you, once they've got you, they're gonna go back into avoidancy, right? And they're gonna start avoiding you now because they feel like they had to do some work. They were afraid of being abandoned, and so you've pulled them away. But once they get you, they're gonna pull away themselves. All right, and then you have your anxious people who will do exactly that. They want to earn the love. They feel like they have to chase you. They don't want to be abandoned, so they're going to chase you. All right, and more than likely, when they get you, they ain't letting go. Okay, they're going to chase you harder. Okay, in those things when they see someone pulling away. So why am I talking about this? Because a secure person is able to do something that the other three usually don't do. The secure person who has a very who's firmly emotionally regulated, who often has good emotional safety, will actually pull you up into a conversation, right? They'll probably message you and say to you, listen, hey, look, it feels like you are pulling away a little bit. Is there any particular reason? I mean, are you okay? Is there any particular reason? And invite you into a conversation. They will invite you into a conversation before their judgment. Whereas the insecure attachments, and if you're one of them, you know that you make a decision before you consider the judgment. Sorry, you make a decision based on your judgment before you find out information. So through your hypervigilance, through your I know what people are like, through your I know what it is already, through your I already know what you're doing. They've already made a judgment, or they've already made an opinion that informs a decision. When they see your behavior is not in alignment with what makes them feel safe. So the moment they feel unsafe, they are going to take a decision that's going to respond to what you've done without asking you, oftentimes, why you're doing what you're doing. And that can be very difficult because many of you probably are right about the fact that this person is pulling away and they're not doing something X, Y, or Z. Right. But the hard part and the mature part and the secure part is being able to come into a place and have a discussion with that person, say, actually, what you're doing is very painful, but I want to know what's going on with you. Is there anything that's happening on your side to contribute towards this particular behavior? Because the secure person is not personalizing what's happening to you, personalizing what you're doing as in the person that is because of me. The secure person isn't automatically going, it's because of me you're doing what you're doing, right? Whereas insecure people, including myself, and probably including yourself, if you're here watching this, dismissive, avoidance, fearful avoidance, anxious people will tend to personalize what they're doing and then act on it. What you're supposed to do is to regulate your emotions. You feel it, yes, you're absolutely allowed to feel. Maybe you feel angry, maybe you feel hurt, maybe you feel scared. It's okay to feel those feelings. In fact, I implore you to feel those feelings. And then when you feel those feelings, reason it out, have a conversation with yourself first, and then go and have a conversation with the other party. Right? You're supposed to secure yourself first, have a conversation with yourself first, and then go to the other party and be like, hey, what's going on with you? I can see you're pulling away. It is a little bit painful, but I want you to understand that I want to be able to understand where you're coming from. Maybe something's happening on your side. See how I said it, it's not personalizing it to them. Like, hey, it's because of me that you're pulling away, or it's because you don't like me, or it's because you don't want me, or did it? And we do this a lot. Hey, I'm a sinner. I'm going to sin again, as Kendrick would say. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not a sinner. I'm born again. I'm a saint. But, we don't personalize it, right? And that's where the secure aspect comes in. So having a very hard conversation requires what we call radical honesty. Now, I want to present something really, really quickly because my time's going to run. I've got a few minutes left. Is emotional safety. This is from psychology.com today, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys as well. So you got it, right? I've been working with my clients all week, and this week I'm going to do the exact same thing again. And it's an emotional safety table, right? And I want to present it to you because I think it's very powerful. Now, if you can look on the right-hand side, if you look at the right-hand side, okay, you're going to see with myself, how do I? This is really important. When I'm doing coaching, this is what I do with clients. On the right-hand side, with myself, how do I? You need to look at what do you do with yourself. Are you able to honor and express sadness, anger, or fear? Are you able to do that with yourself? Are you able to have a real conversation with yourself around your sadness, your anger, and your fear? Number 2, are you able to be honest? Are you able to connect with the truth about yourself? Are you willing to have a real conversation with you about how you feel, what's on your mind? These are real conversations. Are you actually truthful with yourself? Number 3, support myself when I'm wrestling with a big problem. Are you able to support yourself effectively? Do you know what resources you need to be able to do the job for yourself before we're actually asking for other people, right? Are you able to take note and like, actually, you know what? I need this, I need this, I need that. Okay, I realize I need all this stuff. I actually know I can't do it by myself. Okay, someone else needs to help me, right? Many of us are in that space where we don't know how to ask for help, but it's also because we don't know how to support. When we do things, we are very hyper independent. We know how to do it for ourselves, but we don't know how to ask for help, right? Number 4, treat myself when I feel like I don't belong. How do you treat yourself when you feel like you don't belong? Are you down on yourself? Are you hard on yourself? Are you, are you lacking self-compassion when you talk to yourself? When you feel like you don't belong to a group? Are you saying they don't want me? They don't want to talk to me? They don't want to be around me? Like, what's your talk to yourself? It's really important. Again, express creativity in my daily work or play. Are you able to be free? Okay. Are you able to be free in the way that you're able to, express your creativity? Are you able to explore that? For instance, I do TikToks, right? And I might shake my ass, okay? Because I like it for fun. I like to shake my chest. I like to shake my ass. I'm going to joke with it, right? And some people will be uncomfortable, like, yo, that's a bit too much for me. Me, I'm comfortable in my steez. That's me. That's what I like to do, okay? All right? That's my personal thing, okay? Connect personally with gratitude, okay? Are you able to connect with yourself and have gratitude? Are you able to say that, actually, do you know what? I know things maybe not be going too well, but I'm really appreciative of where I am right now. I'm appreciative of the journey. I'm appreciative of how far I've come. I'm appreciative of being gratitude. Being with gratitude is like you looking at things and going, it may not line up the way I want it to line up, but I'm seeing things from also a positive viewpoint to say there are good things that are happening to me, right? And this is really important because this is how you're going to show up to other people too. And the last 2 points, value myself as a sentient being. Do you value yourself? Are you able to be of value? Right? Are you able to be in a place where you say, look, I know I have value. I carry value. I bring value to the table. I value myself. And when you value yourself, you know that by the way that you put yourself in certain situations. What situations do you put yourself in? Are you going to be of value? Because the reason why people are treating you not of value is because you don't value you. You don't know your value. Okay? And then treat myself when I've made a mistake. Okay? So a lot of this kind of stuff, like how do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Are you actually a downer? Are you being hard on yourself? This is also going to contribute towards emotional safety. Now, I'm going to do a part 2 because my time has run out. What I want to tell you, and Vaughn put a question up there, so I will address that on the next video, how do you as an adult how do you as an adult kid say to your parents, I'm guessing, right? Have a conversation with your parents. Let them know that you're wrong. We can do that on another conversation called Hard Conversations. I'll do another video on that as well, specifically for you as well. But just to say before I gotta go, having a hard conversation really takes radical honesty. It puts you in a place where if you are honest with yourself, you can be honest with other people. If you're radically honest about how you feel and that you value how you feel and you value your truth, you're going to be able to do that with other people. You can only do that when you're only honest with yourself and you value your truth and you value your time, your energy, your love, your mind. When you value you, you're going to force that onto other people because you know that I don't want anything less than what I give myself. Okay, so maturity is having that hard conversation. It's being radically honest and saying what's actually on your mind. But you can only do that when you've actually done what's on your mind to yourself, when you're not avoiding how you really feel. But listen, my time is gone. I will come back a little bit later on to a part 2 on this. But if you do want to have your questions answered properly, listen, reach out to me on the coaching. My link is down below in the description box. I've only got queue jump spaces left. Okay, so if you want to coach by myself on Mondays and Thursdays, the only space I have left, and they're set price. I can't lie to you. So jump on that, and we can start coaching and helping you grow along that space. All right. So we'll be back a little bit later, but I appreciate you guys. Stay locked and loaded, and we'll see you very soon. Much love.